What if you could get more of the Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma? You can with the podcast, thanks to What If. You're only a what if away from great holidays. What if? It's Aussie for travel.
Podcast time, guys. Where?
I was supposed to tell a story that I teased yesterday.
Yes.
I can't tell it. So.
What can you?
Piss off! You can't
I'll tell you.
it.
Can
I ask you a question?
Yes, you
can you remind me what the story was going to be about?
Yes, it was going to be about.
No.
we can't
I've been
tell.
asked. No,
But I'm trying to remember it.
no. I'll tell you. I will tell you both.
Just
off
quickly,
air.
I'm just going to turn the mics off. Just
You
so I
really
remember.
don't remember.
No. Awful memory.
About the neighbour. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
An origin story.
I'll tell you off air. It's not a.
Oh my God, Jimmy, you've
There's a
promised our listeners.
Netflix documentary.
You've promised them, and
I
they've
know,
been
but
waiting
he's
for 24
asked.
full
He
hours.
asked.
No, but Em,
He
here's the thing.
asked.
He's asked, and if you know the subject line of the
Yeah,
thing,
it's
you
definitely not
want
something,
to
yeah.
listen. You know what I mean?
He said, "Don't tell that story."
How does he even know that you said it?
He listens to the podcast. He's a big fan.
really?
He listens. He puts the show on in the
If
morning.
he listens to the podcast,
Hello.
just quickly, if he listens to the podcast, does that mean listens to the podcast?
No. Yeah. Well,
'Cause
you've
imagine-
met him. You've met him.
Oh,
No, I haven't.
Yes, it has.
I've met.
Yes, he was at the house. Remember the really ripped old bloke?
That's him.
Like,
that
doesn't-
guy is a.
Yes.
Guys, okay, everyone listening right now, I'm so sorry that you are not you're not privy to any
Hang on.
of
I have
this.
met-
Now this is the biggest
Yes.
tease, and I hate Jimmy for it, not us, because we were ready
You
for
know
the
what?
story.
I'm going to do something for
Because
you.
they're,
Em,
they're
you're,
being very left out.
you're
And they're
right,
like,
Em.
why?
You're right.
I want to know.
And you know I'm solutions based, right? I always
Yes.
find solutions. If you listen to this podcast and you come across me
Yeah.
in a pub in Sydney, I'm at the Super Bowl in America, I know we have internationals, wherever you come, if you ask me, Jim, hey,
Yeah.
What was that podcast story again?
Yeah.
I'll tell you it.
Yeah.
I can tell you in real life. I just can't record
Broadcast.
myself saying
And
the names
actually, you know
saying
what?
the
You'll
things.
get it because quite a few blokes come across you, or like,
And I wipe myself down.
yeah.
And I go, what
And
the
then they,
fuck?
and then
Oh
they,
my
and then they
God,
wipe
Jimmy.
you over.
Both of you, really?
Enjoy the
I
podcast.
can't, yeah, I just can't believe I've met him.
You have, yes. He's
Now I
been
need
in
to-
my house.
I know. Hey,
God.
that I know. Em, in your opinion, does chivalry still exist? Do you think chivalry's still around?
I think it does, but it depends on the man. I don't think chivalry in society still exists.
Okay,
as
what about
much.
this? Do you like chivalry? Do you like chivalrous behaviour? Or do you think we've moved past it?
I do, but I don't need you to like pull my chair out for me. Like I
Right.
like it when you hold
Okay.
the door open.
Well, this leans in to what I'm about to explain because a new study has come out and said that chivalry, as it was always known, has been replaced by modern chivalry, where many women do not actually desire or expect traditional chivalrous behaviour anymore. So, once upon a time, opening the car door, like so when if you say Enzo's driving you to somewhere,
Yeah.
you sit in the car, he walks around, opens the door and helps you out of the car.
He did that when we first started dating. That was cute. But he only did it once or twice. He didn't need
that
to do
is-
it every time.
It was trying to woo you, of course.
Yeah,
We all
of
did
course.
it at the start.
Yeah.
And it's like, get out yourself. Dad.
You know how a door handle works?
Standing up for them when they enter a room, that was always very traditional, right? My so
Men would stand up when women walked into the room.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
to walk over and say again.
No, so well, my pop, right? My pop, who you know this, Jim, absolutely obsessed with my nan, right? Anytime my nan would enter a room, he's in a home now, but anytime my nan would enter a room, wherever he was, he would always stand up.
Oh.
Always stand up.
Oh my
It was
God, that's
very
so
Jimmy knows this from
cute.
Poppy. Even when he was starting to lose his marbles, Nan would walk into the lounge room, Poppy would be sitting on the couch watching the Mighty West Tigers, and he'd stand up. Always. So things like that aren't happening anymore, but we've moved to a more modern chivalry. Now, the reason why is because this study has said that politeness has been replaced by equality, and there's actually a fear from some men that they don't want to be seen as offering something to women that they can't get themselves out of fear of looking sexist.
Yeah, so like guys aren't opening the doors and doing all those things, standing up and pulling the chair out, whatever, because the girl might go, I can do it myself.
I can do it myself. I don't bloody need you. You know what I mean? I mean, Jim, you and I, we're big door. We open doors for everybody, though.
Yeah, I mean, I try.
You're
like
a big door opener.
Every now and then, you might not, but I try and always, if there's a lady in a lift or with me, I'll try and hold the door and let them
Yeah.
go first. And then if they don't want to, like, it's occasionally be a random person who's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I do it if I'm at the gym and I train. Like, there's a lot of women that train at our gym. If I'm in the lift because it's on level 3, I'll always hold the lift door open for everyone to leave
yes,
when they get out.
100%.
Yeah, I think you guys are both modern chivalry men. Because you can be really silly and you're all for equality and girls can do everything themselves. But this studio door, you guys always open it for me to go out first, which is nice. Well, I still like that. Or when I was pregnant and I was like, I don't know, standing somewhere in public and someone stood up and said, you take the seat. Thank you, I will take the seat. That's nice.
I've offered somebody a seat before and they said, no, I'm happy to stand. And like I've got in trouble. I've got in trouble for it.
But I think that's rude. I think there's a way to deal with it. You don't have to be like, men don't have to do anything for me. You can just say no thanks.
Well, this is what I want to ask now. On 131060, do you still like a little bit of shiv? Do you still like a little bit of chivalry? Is chivalry still alive and well? Bit of shiv is regal, Jim. You know what I mean? Do you still enjoy it?
Is good.
As you said, you still don't mind it. Bit of door opening, bit of, standing up for someone. I'm not saying you have to stand up and bow every time a woman enters the room, although that is what demands for us every time we come in. Yeah, we bow to you every time you walk in.
Why are you... I'm not Japanese, guys. I'm Chinese.
You live there.
Yeah, you did live there.
I did live there.
You did live
there.
there.
Do you know chivalry is being passed down from my husband down to our 7-year-old Tino? So he'll hold the lift.
You make him bow to you as well.
No, he'll hold the lift doors open because we live in an apartment complex. If there's someone coming, he'll hold the lift and he'll let the lady go out first. Yeah. He goes, Daddy taught me, Mum. Yeah, he's a little gentleman. It's really cute.
Well, this is what...
That just makes your heart melt, doesn't it? That is wonderful.
Yeah. Not for me. When he came over to my house, he was bloody running the place, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he's making a new mate.
Slammed the door in my
He
face.
wasn't looking for a new dad. He found a new friend at New Nate.
I swear he said to me, get out of my house. This is mine now, bitch. Melanie. Hi, Mel.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to ring in and say I actually 100% agree with what you just said, and that's the whole reason I rang in, is to say that I think it actually doesn't need to be a gender thing. I think it just needs to be about respecting people and doing nice things for people and being kind and making the world a better place, I guess, which is what we're always trying to do at the moment.
Yeah, so, it's consideration, isn't it, Mel? Really? It's
consideration for others. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And caring and showing that you care about other people on this earth. And
little things. I always, when I go to a bar, right, and I order a drink, I always try to look and see who's there before me.
Who's been waiting.
Yeah. And if I do get served first, I go, no, hang on, that person's waiting.
Always.
And it doesn't matter if it's a bloke, a woman, whoever.
That's really nice, actually. That's my biggest pet peeve because I'm a small woman as well. When I'm waiting at the bar, I've seen giant men push in front of me or know that I was waiting first. And because they're tall and they get noticed more often, just purely because of their stature, they get served first. But they don't turn around and do what you said, Jimmy.
No,
they don't say this lady's been waiting.
And the problem with them is you can only see her forehead if you're behind the bar.
Actually, sometimes not even that.
Oh, no.
I have to wear higher heels.
She needs a footstool so she can stand up and order a wine.
I need stilts when I go out.
Imagine the lady on stilts. How many have you had? Legless, don't worry about it. Steve.
G'day, guys. How you doing?
We're good, mate. What are your thoughts on chivalry? Is it alive and well, or what are you thinking?
I need your help, actually. I want to know what's chivalrous when you meet a woman. Do you shake her hand? Do you tap her butt? Do you give her a hug?
Definitely don't tap her butt.
Do you give her a high five? Do you shake your hand hard like a man, or do you do the delicate little grab? Can you help me out, please? I'm not sure what's chivalrous.
I wouldn't slap him on the arse, Steve.
No.
I mean, that's what I'd leave with.
All right.
No, Emma told us that straight away when we met.
Don't slap me on the arse.
Every time I meet a lady, I push them over and then I tickle their feet. And I find
cute.
that works.
I
it's different.
lean in
You know what I mean? They
every
always
time-
remember me.
Yeah, every time I meet a lady, I lean in very nicely and just nibble them on the ear. You know?
Honestly, I think it depends, Steve. I think it depends on the circumstance. If you're meeting a friend's friend, then maybe it's okay for you to hug because you kind of maybe feel like you know each other, you've heard about each other. But in a normal circumstance, I'd rather just like shake your hand.
I'll give you a tip, Steve. This is what I do because you can turn a handshake into a hug. You can't turn a hug into a handshake.
True.
So always lead with the hand, and you can read body language pretty quickly. If you're going towards someone and they're like pushing their shoulder towards you, you're like, oh, they're about to hug. So you can actually you can turn the hug, you can let go of the hand, and you can turn the handshake into a hug. But if you're going to hug, and then they put their hand out,
it's very difficult, Steve, to turn. A bum tap to a handshake. It's very, it's like, whoa.
Picking nits out of their hair is not a good go.
No, don't do that.
No, we're not monkeys.
No, well.
All right. Okay, thanks for your help, guys. Really appreciate it.
That's right. Right there, Steve. We're happy to help.
Steve just picking nits out of girls' hairs.
Oh my God, how many girls are walking around with nits?
Maybe he hangs out at the zoo. I don't know. Sarah.
You know what? Chivalry's dead. And I think the best example is that bloke from Harrington Park that was just talking. Oh, my God. you know what? I much prefer to stand on my own 2 feet, and if the chivalry's laid on, it just gives me the ick.
Okay, so you don't like any chivalry, Sarah. Like, you don't like if you're in a lift, if a man is in there with you and he says you go first, you don't like that?
Oh, I do like it, but I don't expect it anymore. Because it's highly disappointing. And living in Sydney, I've got to say it, men have no idea what chivalry is whatsoever.
Right. So you're saying, Sarah, it's not that you dislike it, but you've grown used to it not existing anymore.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah, so you just don't expect it. And then you're not let down.
It.
The bar is very low.
Exactly.
But what if, like, Sarah, like, using the bar example, if I, like, walked to the bar and I saw you waiting and they served me and I went, oh, no, go to her first. Do you think that's chivalry or do you just think that's just good manners?
Oh, I think that's good manners. But you know what? If I saw you in a bar, I'd be running up and getting you a drink going, hey, brother, what's going on?
Trending now with Emma Chow.
Orlando Bloom is well and truly over Katy Perry. It's all over the internet that they're done. Every single news website is saying it's over. Almost 10 years together.
Can I just say quickly on that? Like, it must suck.
What, just
Like,
having it
100%.
everywhere and all around the world, you can't escape it.
Because, like, when you are breaking up with someone, and I've had a few, the breakup part is just so difficult, right?
Yeah.
It's just so difficult on both parties, and it's constant. It's in the news. We were talking about Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson. Like, they don't. To be fair, they don't owe us anything. They don't have to put an announcement
Well,
out,
no
right?
way. It's like a statement. The publicists are becoming to them being like, guys, we need a statement. We need a statement.
You can't win, right? Because you do the statement because you need to appease the fans, but then you basically are acknowledging the end of...
Yeah.
Because at some point you guys really loved each other and there was something there.
Yeah, that's why you stayed together
but
for
the
so
thing is,
long. That's
with
why
the-
you had a baby.
When a relationship ends, one of the main coping mechanisms, I know it was like this for me, is to try and avoid it and just go head down, bum up into your work, into whatever that is.
When you broke up with someone in primary school, mate? You've been with your partner 10 plus years.
I thought Adelaide Davis was the one. We held hands when we crossed the road to get to the library.
Remember
This is the second time I've heard about Adelaide.
I know, she's the one that got away.
It was one they dated, and remember she came out to the pub that time, and she's like, I could have had him.
Yeah.
It was one of the twins.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, one of the
Was this after you were with
He was
Meg?
with Meg at this point, but she came up to me drunk at a pub once, one of my sex. She goes, I know who you are. You know who I am? And I was like, no, I don't know who you are.
You're not important.
And she was like, she's like, I could have
Could have had him.
If I wanted him. I couldn't have.
It's always room, mate. So that's
The bed is rather large. Anyway, he's been liking other women's pics on Instagram. Like, already, the news has just come out. So he liked this rhythmic gymnastics star on Instagram, a couple of other chicks, and also Kaya Gerber in a bikini, who's like much younger than him.
it's called supporting local talent.
Yeah, Nate
is what
does
it
that.
is.
You just got to, like, because if they're going to put it out there, they need the likes and the comments. So you've really got to, it's our job.
It's
we
about-
talked about being chivalrous earlier.
Yeah.
That's our job, to like bikini photos.
It's about supporting people. You know,
Giving them
and
the
if you
confidence
can,
boost.
local,
Yes.
support local. So try and find, like, Sydney bikini models. Like, supporting local is really important.
And we just did my AI soul searching, and I think my thing was about supporting people and
Not really.
letting
It was
people
about
in.
No, it was protecting your energy and not having so much
more
access.
connections.
Yes,
That's what
more
it was.
connecting with people.
Yeah.
And finally, Justin Bieber has randomly changed his Instagram handle
this
to
is-
@Lil Bieber.
Oh,
If this is like a rap phase, I don't know how I'm going to cope.
it does
I just
sound
don't
like
know.
he's launching a rap career. Lil
He
Biebs.
has rapped before.
Yeah, he has
Yeah,
rapped.
I'm looking at his like grid right now. It's all just Skylark stuff on there, like his new brand that he's launching. There's no like examples of raps anything.
Little Bieber. I mean, he's done it for. I know he's a bit loopy at the moment, though, isn't he?
But also, he's a grown man. I don't feel like you can call yourself Lil.
It's
Like
one of
when you
those-
start young in your teens, you can say Lil.
You can only be little if you start young or you are little. Like,
In
Lil
stature.
Wayne is very short.
Yes.
yeah, like you could be Lil Chow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chow
drop,
chow.
drop
Lil-
some
Lil
bars,
chow
Lil
chow.
chow chow.
Oh,
Go.
here we go. Lil Chow
no.
and
Boom, tss, boom, tss, boom, boom, tss,
Yo.
boom, tss,
I'm Lil Chow, yo.
boom,
I
boom,
don't know.
so good, mate.
Don't make me do that. That was the
So
worst
good.
thing I've ever done
Fire
in
in the
my
booth.
entire career.
The hits before they hit with Lil Chow.
Chow chow. Nathan, please get the round of applause ready for a bounty hunter based in Phoenix, Arizona, part tracker, part protector. With nearly a decade in the fugitive recovery, he leads Black Flag Bounty Boys, a team known for doing dangerous work with discipline, compassion, and integrity, not just chasing fugitives, but helping families, protecting victims, and restoring order where the system sometimes falls short. Please welcome to the show,
Bounty Hunter Nic! Hello, Nic. Welcome.
Hey, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, coming to us live from Arizona, that's where you're at the moment. You look in full uniform at the moment. Are you actually working as we interview you?
Yeah, I'm working right now. We started doing private security as well.
Yeah, right.
Because, over the past couple of years, it's taken off. We've been doing the bounty work for 9 years, but the general public couldn't hire us. And we've got a team full of guys that are dedicated, talented, very unique weirdos, and really good at protecting people, right? And so we started doing security work too. So right now I'm actually at a $15 million property in Scottsdale.
I feel like the only thing that I know about bounty hunters is from movies where, like, you're performing a hit, like someone pays you money to go kill someone.
That's called wet work, hon.
She also had a different idea of what wet work meant
that's a very real line of work. But we do we're professionals. Otherwise, we'd end up in jail real quick.
So Nic, how does it work? So you are told to go and bring somebody in who's tried to skip bail or tried to avoid the court process, and then you literally have to go out and find them and reprimand them. Is that how this works?
Well, yeah, it's not really reprimand. It's more like apprehend. But yeah, all the above. Okay, so when you're on bond, you basically become a piece of collateral, okay, for maybe $50,000, whatever the dollar amount is.
Sure.
But now you're worth that dollar amount. And if you do not show up to court, then the bondsman or your mom, more often than not, it's mom, okay, is going to lose that 50 grand, right? And because this kid doesn't give a crap about mom or anybody else, mom's going to lose her house. Yeah. Okay. So now we go out and we pick this person up, and mom is like, thank you. I was going to lose my house, X, Y, and Z. So we help in those regards. At other times, it's debt collecting. It's ugly work sometimes. We have to track people down in the gutters, basically, and then shake them down and say, hey, if you don't have $5,000, it's back to jail.
Like, do these people put up a fight? So you're going there, like, they don't want to be, found or whatever. Like, what do they do in those situations? Like, is it dangerous?
Yeah, they do. Well, so there's a lot of different scenarios. We call them vehicle extractions. If someone's in a vehicle, then we've got to roll up, contain them, get out, breach the vehicle, and drag them out.
Wow.
Okay? This is amazing.
So it is kind of like a movie.
Wow. This is crazy.
Vehicle extractions are really, they're very dangerous. Yeah. You can screw them up really easily. So we try to only do that if we know for sure we're going to get them, right?
Yeah.
We're not because if they take off, now they're ripping through town, putting everybody else at risk. You know what I'm saying? So vehicle extractions, we might have to go into a house. Sometimes it turns into a barricade situation where they're on the other side of the door screaming, F you, I'm not coming. And you got to go in there and get them. Most of the time, we do the recovery in a way where we get up on them so quick that they don't have a chance to make it dangerous.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
You're watching them in the days leading up. You're making sure that you're hitting them at the right time, right?
Yeah, like 95% of the time. Unless we get really lucky and we show up and they're just standing there, because that happens too sometimes. Yeah. You're like, oh, God. I stopped at the gas station to get something before we hit the house, and it's standing right there,
But he accidentally gets in your car. He thinks it's an Uber.
Hey, man. Hey, and here's the thing. We got a lot of different little tricks. We do all sorts of stuff. If we have to shut the power off and wait outside for somebody to come turn the power back on, we will. Typically, we sit there and we'll wait, we'll watch, we'll gather information on the person, and then once we got enough and we know it's them, we'll use vehicle trackers. Yeah. So I know that, hey, so-and-so is driving this Volkswagen. Well, the Volkswagen left and it went to Home Depot, which is where they work. Okay, they're at Home Depot. Let's go.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
What's the most dangerous, gnarly situation that you've been in this line of work?
Oh, man, there's a lot of them. I got to tell you, like, fentanyl is really dangerous. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you an answer, but it's probably not accurate. Yeah. Because fentanyl is everywhere. A lot of the people we pick up, they're even using powdered fentanyl. If I touched that stuff, I have no tolerance. It would kill me. We've been in situations where firearms have been discharged.
Wow.
When you're fighting for a gun and someone's trying to use it against you, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't care how cool you think you are. I didn't tell my wife that story for years. Yeah. Because I didn't want her to tell me I couldn't do this work anymore.
Absolutely.
But then she ended up getting a life insurance policy on me, and and I just kind of spilled the beans. I was like, we're gonna be rich. Just give me a couple more years. I got you.
Nick, thank you so much, mate.
we love
You
you.
have been an
Nick.
absolute legend.
so fascinating,
You do some incredible work. You face danger every day. We're just talking to the big stick, mate. Well done. Thank you for being on the show. We really appreciate you, mate. We'll let you get back to it. We know you're quite literally in uniform on the job at the moment. Thank you very much, bud. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Hey, stay safe out there. Thank you.
And I'm going to get on my soapbox because I'm pretty pissed off about this because there are some major changes coming to roads around the country from July 1st. So they're going to be using AI now to better fine people who are using their phones while driving.
Oh, AI is going to be handing out fines.
Well, it's just better at detecting photos if people are touching or playing with their phone. Because at the moment, the technology isn't that great. They sort of look at photos and then there's a bloke sitting in a room going, yep.
Yeah, that will do. You and I have been stung with alleged photos of us, not having a seatbelt on or using a phone when we clearly haven't. Like I got a fine once using your phone whilst driving. Both my hands are on the steering wheel. My phone is in my pocket. And I was like, what? Because the lighting kind of looked like there was a phone in my hand. But my hands were on the steering wheel.
So it looked like there was a shiny object, a reflective object,
Correct.
like a screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
My issue with this is, so the current penalty for using your phone, you can be stopped at the traffic lights. That's also still illegal. $362, 5 demerits. Now, you can be fined up to $1,209 and lose 5 demerits. Also, existing here in New South Wales, this is just New South Wales, existing mobile phone detection cameras also start to detect those not wearing seatbelts. So the phone cameras ought to do seatbelts. And that penalty is going from $390 to $410.
Okay.
Now, this is my issue, right? My dad was in the fire service 30-odd years. We were in, out rurally, and a lot of the things that they actually went to weren't fires. It was road fatality,
Car
right?
crashes,
And speed kills, right? It does. And yes, distracted driving kills as well, and seatbelts save lives. I agree with all those things, but the thing that I can't agree with is increasing fines. And also fines in general. Like, the money isn't going to be a deterrent. People can't put food on the table, right?
Yeah.
People can't afford their groceries. They can't put fuel in their car. And then, yes, they can, right? And people do make mistakes. You can go over the speed limit a little bit. You shouldn't be touching your phone. Yes, you'd be sure and see, but I agree that. But that's what the point system's there for, right? You could take points. You could increase the point fines. If it's really that bad, take more points away and take their driver's license away.
Yeah, so you're saying reduce the financial burden and pressure and make it more driving focused.
You can't sit here and
if you don't want someone to speed, take them off the road by removing licenses.
Take their license away. Don't sit here and tell me, we'll increase the fine because, it's bad. Yes, it is bad, but people can't afford it as well.
But it also wouldn't change anything if they were like, the fine's going to be $10,000 if you touch your phone, because people will still do it.
And unfortunately, yes, while there is the majority, of people out there that are struggling to put food on the table, there are absolute, flogs who earn a lot of money who don't care, and also then register vehicles in business names.
Yeah.
So now they don't lose any points. So they can just keep, and again, if you get
or they can have a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's loopholes. it's just very frustrating when, they put the money out there, and I know that, especially, if you want to then go to parking fines, that's even 10 times worse.
Have you guys ever done this? Have you ever gone past like a camera, right, that'll take photos? You're not doing anything illegal, but just flip at the bird. Do you ever do that?
No.
In hope that it comes up on camera?
Look, a long time ago when I was, a wee tucker, and I thought I was funny, whereas now I actually am. I remember when I was a kid, my parents, I'm an only child, my parents were driving in a car. And have you seen those point-to-point speed cameras?
Yes.
So they will take a photo.
Average speed.
Yeah, they'll take a photo of every car because it has to be from the point you start to the point you end. It's not like a speed camera where it'll only take your photo if you're going over a limit. I pulled my pants down and put it between my parents when they drove through it.
Yeah, excellent.
And then my mum noticed what I was doing. James, what are you doing? So the New South government do have a photo of my ass somewhere.
Your mum, dad are driving. Is that Pitbull in them? No, that's an us.
Look, Nathan, it is the end of the week, and that means we need to find our cow. It is our caller of week. And to do that, we like to listen back to the week that was.
Well. Hello there. What an interesting week it was. We learned that you can call world leaders daddy.
Then it's easier to step up.
And then daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
Which is good news for Jimmy.
I'm more of a daddy type of guy. Yeah, if I'm going to sleep with a man, it might as well be an old, good-looking one.
Speaking of Jimmy, after he told a story about a friend of his who had a bad breakup, we wanted to hear yours. Anna called us.
Look, it was ugly. He wasn't going to give me anything that was mine back or anything that I needed, not even my clothes.
I got prawns and I stuck them with needles on the base of the curtains, inside the lounge, in the bed, and I just left. I said, you don't want to give it to me? You're not going to have it either.
So
I made sure
you hid prawns throughout the house.
Yeah.
You didn't just hide them, you sewed them into curtains.
I actually got pins and just... Oh, I didn't have all that time. I just stuck pins and put them in the curtains at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I bet the smell, the stench, when he found them, bloody hell.
I love that, Anna. You said, well, I didn't have time to sew them, so I just pinned them in.
Oh, yeah, of course. It was a hit and run, wasn't it, for me?
We also asked you this week on 131060, when did you have to do someone else's job? And the job Glenn picked up is something that I've always wanted to do as well.
Macca's was a bit overloaded, and you know how they give you they've got the tickets and the food. I've just started calling them out. Number 445, large double quarter pounder meal, 6-pack of nuggets, $2.22.
That's so good.
That's amazing. Did they love it?
They loved it. They really appreciate it. I just wanted my food. You know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, you're in there. You're getting amongst it. I love it.
Yeah, that's true. All these people getting home going, this is not what I ordered.
And finally, what did you find when you had a little snoop? Laura's brother-in-law found something very unexpected when looking at a house to buy.
My brother-in-law and my sister were going to buy a home, and he went to use the bathroom, and there was this weird little piece of wall that could be removed. And so, of course, he removed it, and he found all these very graphic nude photos of the woman who was selling the house.
Oh, my God. Stop it. That is amazing.
If she's left them there, she's done that on purpose.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
I reckon.
He was horrified. He was so horrified he couldn't look at her. He was like laughing the whole time he came out.
Did he say anything to her or not? No, he just hit them
No,
back.
he said, my sister was like, what's wrong with you? Because she had no idea what happened. And he was like cracking up throughout the house. And they actually wound up buying the house. And so there's some wild stuff going on there.
They bought the house.
They did buy the
Were
house.
the photos still there when they bought it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. He did look. Yeah, they were gone.
And on that note, that wraps up another week on the Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma. Don't forget to listen to the podcast over the weekend.
Let's go.
To hear exclusive banter that you can't get anywhere else.
So the shark, he's got all his teeth out.
What? I'm Audio Bones. Layers.
Bonesy on fire again.
We don't do an employer of the week, mate, but I'd give it to you.
Well done.
I'd give it to you each and every week. Yes, our winner this week. Please welcome our cow. It's Laura.
Laura.
Oh, my God. I love you guys. You're the best.
Laura. You've won our cow for telling a story about your brother-in-law finding nudes in the home.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I never won anything in my life. I knew I loved you guys.
You deserve it with that story.
Just quickly, were we on the edge though, Laura? Because when you were like, you knew you love us, did you? You didn't quite know, but now you're definitely certain.
I know you love me too.
Yeah,
it's reciprocated.
It is. And some people think calling our listeners cows doesn't really, emulate love. But in this case, we love our cows.
Moo.
What if you could get more of the Jimmy and Nath Show with Emma? You can with the podcast. Thanks to What If. You're only a what if away from great holidays. What if? It's Aussie for travel.